Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind, I'd like to call this March 18th, 2025 meeting of the Harrison Board of Education to session. At this time, I'd like to start with prayer. Father, thank you again for this beautiful day that you've given the students and the staff. As always, we ask you to fulfill them with your life and your grace. And keep them, your hand upon them, and keep them safe. We ask that you continue to give this beautiful day and that you grace us with your gifts each and every day. Pastor, you send me in your name. I pledge allegiance.
Tonight we're going to have band drummers from Harrison High School that lead us in prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Correspondence and records. I assume that Dan is going to be involved in that.
Dan is going to be involved in that.
That's right. Awesome. Hope the room doesn't flip over.
You'll go get you on camera. And we have live camera. All right, so tonight it's our pleasure to introduce some of Harrison High School Troop 2715 students who in late February had a great day, a few days of competition, and we have those results on the screen. So could someone lead us through some of that and some of the things that you saw and experienced during that day? Okay.
Oh, I'm feeling great, wonderful. Wow, it's a great time. We spent, where were we at?
Why don't you start with who you are,
Oh, my
what grade you are, and what you compete in.
My name is Troy Boswell. I'm in 12th grade, I'm a senior, and I competed in duets, singing, and group singing, group musical. And that's theory in both. It was fun. Dan and I put it together. We did Agony, Commercial Woods, performed a ton of fun, made really chunky go out. But it was great. Loved it the entire time.
Thank you, ladies. And next.
My name is Emma Bach. I am also a senior in Lincoln. I did playwriting, where I got an excellent. I did solo singing, where I got an excellent, and then I was part of the musical.
Hi, my name is Ellison Jones. I am a junior, and I performed in duet acting, which me and Ella here, we got superior rating. And yeah, it was a fun time to be there and have all the opportunities presented to us and be able to, be a part of those.
My name is Allison Hyatt. I'm a senior. I performed in solo musical, and I got excellent. And then I also participated in the group musical, which we all got superior for, but because we got superior, we are able to go to nationals. This doesn't mean we will go to nationals because it's an expensive trip, but we're able to. And I also was one of a couple of seniors that got a call back for a state scholarship. I didn't get it, but I was one of the last runner-ups for the scholarship.
Hi, my name is Ella Domino, and I am a junior at Harrison High School. I competed with Ellie Jones in duet acting, and we got a superior, so we grew a lot from last year. We did group acting last year, we got an excellent, so this year we expanded upon that, and we got a superior this year. I was also in group musical, although I didn't sing and I didn't dance. I was the person in the chair. It's like really weird. If you have questions about the musical that we specifically did, it was really weird. But I did not sing or dance. We still got a superior, so we did like before IPS happened, we did a one-act competition, and I got nominated to be an all-state cast from that, and so did So did not. So we got medals for that as well, but it's not on here. This is probably my favorite time of the theater season, though. This is a really fun experience. You get to talk to colleges, you get to talk to professionals, you get to talk to other actors from around the state, and compete, and it's probably my favorite time. I think that's good.
Again, hello, I'm Benny Jones. I'm one of the at the Lakers a couple weeks ago. I'm a senior here at Harrison High School, and like Lake said before, we competed together and do a musical. I was also in the group musical. I also got a state scholarship. It was the Arkansas Educational Theater Association Scholarship, which means I submitted a resume with all my theater background, and I got an interview. I called back, and they gave me, I think it was $600 total in scholarship. Yeah, I guess that's very fun. Again, there's all kinds of workshops you can go to on how to be a better actor. There's workshops for dance, like building props and all that. It was very great experience. And again, all kinds of colleges from the state, for all over the state were there, like Arkansas State, U of A, UCA, University of Arkansas Little Rock. You know, all they want to talk to us seniors, the opportunity to find out scholarships, and great opportunities. So yeah, I guess it was a great year. A great time this year. And also, I think it was in Russellville, right? Russellville? It was in Russellville.
After high school.
Yeah, very cool.
Seniors, Blake, why don't you start with just the seniors? Do you have plans for next year, and would you share?
Yes, I'm actually accepted into acting conservatory in Missouri, which is the big-time college for actors. It's called SEMO, the Jeannie Dobbins Conservatory, so I will be proceeding in getting my BFA and Bachelor's of Fine Arts in acting to see how far I can go from there.
So I actually haven't nailed down a college yet. I am between either Missouri State University or Columbia College Chicago. I've been accepted into both. I've applied for a full ride to Columbia College Chicago. I'm hoping to do that back in the next couple of days. But I'm going to be double majoring in film and creative writing. I'm hoping for screenwriting.
I'm going to Arkansas State. I was accepted and I got a couple scholarships for it. I will be double majoring in theater and education. I plan to get my acting and how they do it, it's generalist theater, which means I take courses from all aspects of theater, tech, musical, and acting and directing. And I'll get that license so that I can take the alternate route through the Arkansas Gov to get my education license so that I can spread theater throughout Arkansas.
Also, I'm in the same boat as Emma. I'm between two colleges, Arkansas State and University of Arkansas Little Rock. I intend to major in performing arts and a minor in journalism. That's pretty much it.
Well, we wanted to bring you in front of our board and also in the public eye on camera. And this is a tremendous experience and performance, and you represented us well, and we just want to say thank you at the board level. So thank you. You can stay if you want to, but you don't have to. Thank you.
Mr. Parker, outstanding, it's incredible. There's a lot of I can imagine you being in theater when you were 15, 16, 17, so, yeah, but it just don't, okay, that is tremendous. Okay, we'll move on to get to this in a minute, with anybody be willing to make a motion for it. Have a motion by Mr. Martin, is there a second? A second by Mr. Burris. Any comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same. Motion carried. We'll move on to the disposition of routine minutes, and I would entertain a motion for those as well. So, motion by Mr. Burnside, do I have a second? Ms. Bowles has given us a second. Any conversation there?
Yes, if I could interject. In your board packet, we made an error, and we set a financial summary page that's in this portion of the board packet, and you'll notice a yellow mark on your paper. Under endowment, we made an error for some reason, and it said $0, and as you can see, the amount on the board packet, that would be a significant error. So we corrected that and laid that on your desk, and we wanted to address that for you, and thanks for doing that. And then secondly, our enrollment is 2,722 as of today.
Any other discussion? Let's have a motion for approval of minutes based on the presentation of the updated financial summary. Have a motion by Ms. McLaughlin, second by Mr. Martin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same. Routine reports approved. We'll move on to new business 7A here, a follow-up from the class of 2022.
Yes, tonight it's our privilege to have Ms. Thornton and Ms. Thompson here. Ms. Ryan couldn't make it right, is that correct? So Ms. Thompson, Ms. Thornton will come forward. We do not have a podium for you, however, you may stand in front if you'd like and present. But every year annually, our high school counselors give us a little follow-up information about our graduates, and we're going to turn it over to you ladies.
Laura Ryan joined our team this year, and she has the council to take over in the lunch place, and she was a student advisor in ACT, and so her skills in the talking to how they were doing that. But I want to first draw your attention to the top part of the handout. We had 184 diplomas awarded last year, and out of that, the breakdown, 176 of those were active seniors, and then 8 were early graduates. And then moving on over, you'll notice on the far left, there's the 96% is the cohort graduation rate, so we have to take into account the students that would have graduated that ended up dropping out. And so we have to take, that's why that's a 96% versus the 99.4 active student grad rate, because the 99.4 is what we currently were working with last year, but the 96% is including the students that started at Coaching High School in the 9th grade. Our average GPA is 3.18 for this graduating class, and then the average ACT score is a 19. We had 56% of our seniors earned concurrent credit through the Arkansas College. And then our placement for our seniors, we had 59% enrolled in post-secondary, and then 29% employed, and in the workforce, 2% enlisted in military, and then 9% is they're not employed. We had a few that we could not get through. The numbers have changed.
So overall, you can see placement with the 3 Ps that we were focusing on before. Enrolled in employed was 91% overall, and I'm going to speak to the enrolled side of it. Okay, so 107 of our seniors were enrolled, and that would be 28% to a 4-year university, 30% at a 2-year, and 1% at a technical school, so that was 6 years. 100 of them are in-state, and on your handout, you'll see that it's just a little over 93% stayed in Arkansas, which is great. We always like to see that people want to stay there. It's a great place to live. Of our enrolled students, 40% were male and 60% female. Alright, so there's 4-year schools. I know it's kind of nice to see the breakdown every once in a while. Since it's not in up there, we'll just go over it with you. So UCA, U of A, and ATU were the top 3 schools for the 4-year universities that our schools serve. Our students serve, so that's 30% at UCA, 24% U of A, and then 18% with ATU, 18%. Next we had ASU, and then the other Arkansas schools make up about 8%. So there's like 1 student each. There's 14% of these students going out of state. Most of them, it has to do with athletics. So they earned an athletic scholarship, and that took them out of state. So there are 2 at MSU, 2 at Evangeline, and then the University of Alabama, WVU, and Oral Roberts University. For our 2-year placements, there were 55 students, or 30%, and an amazing 93% of them went to North Arts. And stay right here. So that's great. And a lot of them already have concerned about it, which we'll speak to a little bit in a moment. 3 students went to ASUMH, and then 1 to SAU. And then the beauty school in Henderson is helping 2 of our students, or former students,
questions for Arkansas viewers. So, overall with this class, 79% of this group, okay, so of the 107, not the full class, 79% of these kids who are now enrolled earn financial aid in the form of a scholarship, either through their university, or through a community scholarship, or through the Arkansas Scholarship Application Portal, which is amazing. That's a really high number. 72% of these students completed concurrent credit. So you saw, Ms. Thornton mentioned at the beginning that over half of our students completed concurrent credit while in high school, and those that decided to continue their education at an even higher rate at 73%, which is amazing. 33% of this group took advanced placement classes. Their average ACT score was 20, and 54% complete SCTE programs, so free and technical education that we offer at our school, and 10% of them earned industry recognized credentials. Then we also gave the worksheets last year to the entire senior class, and 53% of these students earned a worksheet credential. And we'll kind of go over the full class view of their credentials in a little while.
And of the 4 students, I'm going to speak to the ones that chose the enlisted path and the employed path. On the enlisted, we had 2 joined National Guard, and 1 Army and 1 Marine, and he is currently in their average ACT was an 18, and 50% of those were completers in the community area. And then out of the 53 students that entered the workforce after graduation, our food service is where most of them ended up, and that's where they're currently working. Their average ACT score is 16. And 42% completers, 8% of the students in this group earned the certification, and worksheet certification is 40%. And we kind of found it interesting that the employed and the 9% of students that are not currently working are mainly males. So, I don't know, it's interesting to kind of look at
Something for us to dig deeper on and see why. Okay,
It's not
like this and then obviously. But there's a trend there, and then when you dig deeper, you can find other kind of outliers, and that's something to help us guide our program next year. Like, why is this group, like, why are we seeing that this time? Because the class overall is pretty evenly weighted with male and female, and yet we have, like, this much larger percentage of young ladies going to college, or, just furthering their education, and then we have a much larger percentage of men, either enlisting, not on 100%, or going straight to the workforce. So some of it is a credential later in high school, and then otherwise it's kind of taking the gap years.
Isn't that the national trend of more females are going to college and making more?
Right, I don't think I haven't looked that up, so I can't say for sure. That'd be interesting to look into, and now I probably will. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Mr. Ryan.
Nothing like homework coming from the board meeting.
It's a fact, don't look it up.
Alright, so, for concurrent credit, there's some really good stats on this, and I love it. And I think it really shows, like, what our school district is doing, and also how ambitious our students are. So, we had 102 students who completed 1,562 concurrent credits in high school, which is a lot. It's amazing. I like the numbers, so I love numbers, but I think sometimes money talks. So here we go. If we just looked at North Arkansas College only for the standard rate we're going off of, it would, that 1,562 credits would equal $228,052. Which is pretty cool. Most of these credits were paid either by our district to help these students, or the Arkansas Concurrent Challenge scholarship that's offered by the state for juniors and seniors. So, very, very good work there. 48 of our students earned 15 or more credits. So, I mean,
that is an entire semester of college completed before they're even out of high school. In addition, that gives them an opportunity to earn the more called Kickstart course, which is just another honor that they get at graduation. 12 of them earn 27 or more concurrent credits, so that's about a full year of college then. But it also allows them to jump up to the next tier of the Arkansas Academic Challenge Scholarship, and then that would help to kind of reduce that financial strain of their first year in college. And then 3 students had over 40 concurrent credits, with one earning 48 credit hours, which is pretty close to an associate. They're getting there. So that was really amazing. I know our school has done a lot to make that possible for students. And we've brought Mr. Parker's design and master schedules. I know it's hard because we are limited on space. But to bring more of those college instructors to our campus, which made it a lot more accessible to students and more equitable. So I think that's a direct result of that. So.
Because they're able to come to our campus, we're seeing more students take advantage of that.
Oh, absolutely. Because I think you might be surprised how many students they aren't able to drive themselves over to their campus. And so having them on our campus is going to be huge.
Thank you.
It opens it up for those bus riders, technology classes.
Any question is if they want to get staff into something, on campus, they're not going to worry about it. Advanced placement, we have 57 advanced placement courses taken, and that is another thing that helps our students earn college credits based on their grades. For financial aid, I'm just going to kind of jump down. At senior assembly, we announced the scholarship total would be about over $3 million, and that's kind of a projected number because we're looking at over 4 years, assuming the students follow up, figure out their plans and everything, which is a great number for the class. I kind of like to look at the numbers now, so I like that number because it's a good number, it's pretty, right? But I kind of like this year that we had. So we set a goal last year in our counseling department to have at least 85% of our senior class complete the Arkansas Scholarship Management System application, which that puts them in the half of the challenge scholarships, the governors, and more. And so 85%, that would be a pretty big increase from the prior year. And we actually ended with 88% of our seniors completing it, so that was a little win. I was really happy about. And this short, we'll talk a little bit about the steps we took to get there, use that a little bit. Through the SAMS portal, it just is a platform that our state offers to students that just gives them an opportunity to earn thousands of dollars in scholarships. And for the 24-25 school year, the portal gives us an update, and so they have already released $168,697.27 toward our class of 2024 graduates. So just that first year, that's how much that portal alone, and our state, we're trying to do lottery funds and things like that they've already sent to students to help them pay for college. And one really cool thing is they added the Arkansas Challenge Plus this past year, and there's a grant to just kind of bump it up a little bit for some kids based on financial needs, so look at their FAFSA results. And those extra funds make up $87,500 of that number I just said. So it's a pretty good chunk. And some students who would have only got $1,000 for that first year of the challenge, they still got $1,000, and then they got an additional $4,000 to help them get. That's huge. That really going to help a lot of students who get out of college without debt. Additionally, we've been looking at other scholarships not related to that. For that first year in college, it would be about $424,000. So if you combine that with the SAM money, we're at almost $600,000 for that class of 2024. 85 of our 107 that were enrolled earned and are using these scholarship funds. So we did have students who were in that first 3 million number. They earned a scholarship, but they may or may not have used it. So they changed their mind where they were teenagers, so then it didn't apply. Or they're military, so they would use it then. Okay, so that's why there's a pretty big difference. But if you look at 85, of those students, that's about $7,000 each in the first year if you just average it out. It's pretty cool. You guys have questions about college?
Okay, moving along to the career readiness, we have 100% of our 24 graduates in the student success plan. And that's just a 4-year plan, and now parents are going to have to sign that plan, but it's something that we try to get the students going to the 8th grade and visit with them and talk to them about their options and why it's important to make good grades like your 9th and 10th grade year, because it gives you options and opportunities to take college classes or go out to the tech center and earn some type of certification. And so that's the 4-year plan for students. 91% of this graduating class were CTE completers, including 13 at the tech center. So there were 13 students that took classes at the tech center that obtained some type of certification at the North Park Tech Center. And then 15 of these students were industry recognized certifications that obtained that, and 85 earned an ACT work teach credential, like Tony talked about earlier. 7 of them were platinum, 12 gold, 34 silver, and 32 bronze. Moving on down to the school counseling box, just to give you a little snippet of what we do throughout the year. We start the year off with a senior kickoff breakfast in the fall, where we collaborate with the community members, and we talk to students about, like, hey, this is your senior year, and try to get them all excited, but yet make them realize that this year's been really fast and furious, and you've got a lot to take care of, you know, in a short period of time. We also provide one-to-one meetings with our seniors, and that's where we kind of finalize the student success plan, and we talk about their plan after they leave a project. We send out surveys, so we get feedback from our students, also the faculty, and kind of know where we're at, where the needs are, and how we can best meet the needs of the students and what they need help with. We provide classroom lessons, we go into room sessions, working with students, and then we also help them complete the FAFSA assistance. So like just this past week, I was working with students, they finished theirs in November, but sometimes it's kind of hard to drag the parent along, because that's kind of a challenge when the parents aren't motivated to release financial information, but they have to do that in order for them to get the academic challenge money. And so that's always a challenge for some students. We college visits and career fairs and help them assist with that, and then the senior assembly and scholarships. And then last year alone, we saw over 3,000 students within filling out the request for student counseling.
And your results from the surveys that we asked students, if you all are interested, I can tell you the pros and cons.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
I didn't write it down, I remember. Okay. So one of the questions that was asked was, what do you love the most about leadership? And I would say I got, like, so many of our students mentioned staff members, how they actually care. And my teachers, they actually truly care about me. They relate what I'm doing to what I'm going to be doing later, so I just feel like it's relevant. A lot of the things would mention specific teachers that just really impacted them, which was great. Let's see. Another one that there was one that I really liked. It was that one where they said that they met their best friends, you know, through our school. And I mean, that's when you know, literally. I mean, all of you probably remember when you were in high school, like, that's what you're doing, like, the sporting events, and all your buddies are going to football games and all of that. So a lot of it had to do with the school spirit, but also the relationships with staff, which I thought was really cool. And then another question, I didn't feel like, what do you think about it? I didn't feel like a lot, but I worded the other one different. It said, what are some things you feel like could be improved upon or maybe changed? And I would say the vast majority mentioned, I just wish sometimes the bathrooms weren't locked, which they kind of bring on themselves, but everyone's always a lot of certain bathrooms. Once you the door, you know, talk to them. And then also, several students mentioned that they wish they didn't have to pay for a parking pass and that they didn't have to pay for a locker, which I think those are about $5 each. But that was the bulk of their feedback. Some of them said stuff about lunch, but I think that's like nationwide. And then this year, our lunch is amazing. Good job. Like high school is with salad bars. I eat everything. I love it. We already took care of that.
So nothing about the school board at all? Nothing?
You guys are so humble that you don't go around bragging about what you do, but that's why you're nice for clothes.
Okay.
Any questions for Ms. Thompson, Ms. Gordon?
The same, they're not excited about what they do. It's awesome what y'all do and reaching out to a lot of these kids. If people weren't reaching out for them on scholarships, they wouldn't know how to do that and they couldn't get that. And it means a big part of those people trying to go to college, and it's awesome what you do for each and one of us. And we greatly appreciate that.
And I just had one that just needed to be around here, so I'm very familiar with the process that you guys are going through, and I can understand how stay around you all to foster this relationship with these kids. There are some kids that don't have parents that, like you said, that are not going to be kids and be helping them if they do want to continue their education or do something else or realize what's going on. But we're always great about sending reminders all the time, and events is continuing going on all the time.
I would like to add, excuse me, I serve also on North Arkansas College. So some of you saw on Sunday, North Arkansas College is exploring the opportunity to join University of Arkansas systems. There's a love-hate relationship between two-year colleges and high schools. We look at it as a amount of money we're saving kids by offering these concurrent hours. I think oftentimes two-year colleges are looking at it as hours that they lost, money that they would have lost, would have gained if they had that student on campus. I think that what the LEARNS Act we went through in K through 12, now the 2- and 4-year colleges are going through their version of the LEARNS Act currently. This opportunity of exploring an option of joining the systems, if we were to explore this and go down this route and join the U of A systems, that means schools like University of Arkansas, Little Rock, University of Arkansas Monticello, University of Fort Smith, University of Arkansas Fayetteville, all those schools, along with a lot of two-year colleges in the state of Arkansas, Flagship Tech, things of that nature, are now in a consortium of higher learning. The benefit to Harrison High School students would be if a child chose to go to North Ark, which a lot of our kids are already enrolled in North Ark. When they get their associate's degree, they can transfer to the University of Arkansas, Fayetteville, and take North Arkansas College hours, tuition hours. That's a scholarship, however you want to label it.
Absolutely.
And savings of lots of money. It would give more of our children opportunities to get that associate's degree here, which they would be very close, thanks to y'all's efforts. Very close, and be able to get to the University of Arkansas very quickly to get finished up on that 4-year degree. That's not a done deal, but it's something that's being explored, and I do think it would be highly beneficial to our school district, another weapon in the arsenal of getting kids into some type of process, especially if they're leaning towards a 4-year degree. So it's interesting to see, and there'll be some changes, and so all preliminary, but I think it would be something that this will be a blessing to this community if we go down that route.
The best case scenario is going to be covered in discussion, but the best case scenario is somebody gets concurrent credit, get close to their associate's degree, then get their 4-year degree through this affiliation, And instead of paying $300 per credit hour, they've gotten that paid through the Harrison High School for most of it, the associate's degree, and then they're paying $116 an hour. When you say that's a scholarship, it's as good as a scholarship, if not better. And we have some kids with a 4-year degree here for a third of the price that they could anywhere else. So it's tremendous news.
We don't always look at it the same way when we're 18 years old, 20 years old, as we do when we're 30 or 40 years old, or older. We look back and we're very grateful to some of the opportunities that we get later in life. And so I think as you get older, you look back and you say, well, I had a really good, Harrison gave me an opportunity. Whether it's Harrison High School, North Hills College, the community gave me an opportunity, and I'd like to take my family back and raise them in that community. I think it's a win-win for everybody. And I like to also say, when we look back and we say, what was the experience like in high school, I like to think that Mr. Magnus's experience was something like that movie Never Been Kissed. I think he was the male version of Rosie Grozy. And I think that, if you haven't seen it, you can watch it later.
Oh, man. I know what I'm watching tonight. Okay. Dr. Pratt?
Jamie, thank you so much, and Delora, it's all good. I appreciate all your work. I think the piece that we don't want to forget is that the three of you will work so hard to meet with every student. And for those of us that our children are 4 East now, there's a time where their counselor, if they were to be a student and they didn't cause any trouble, they never saw the counselor until the senior year. And we appreciate all of you meeting with every student all the time.
Thank you, man. I mean, 825 students, and they meet with every kid at least once.
Yes.
But then they had 3,000 plus requests, additional requests. You do the math on that, out of 178 instructional days, it's about 17 additional requests a day. There's 3 of them, so that's 5 plus more. They're pretty busy.
Good.
They work really hard.
Great job, guys. Appreciate you so much.
Contacted community work about operations within the building for sure. That's a lot of work.
More proof of the passion that our staff has for our students, right? Tremendous.
Mr. Magnus, there's no recommendation. This is for information only, and great information, girls. Thank you so much. Appreciate your professionalism.
Okay, we'll move on to 7B, consider licensed personnel reimbursements.
Yes, last month, Dr. Pratt did not do what he needed to do and put these policies on the board packet. And I missed those, and tonight, Dr. Blind is going to come in and support that and make it all better and do the right thing and talk about them. And I do want you to know that Mr. Foster is not with us tonight for licensed PPC, but they've already approved this in the February PPC meeting. Dr. Blind, go ahead.
If I may, just to piggyback on the discussion, House Bill 1512 is called Access. In that bill, it sets a cap for tuition. It brings an end to the wild, wild west across our state and the discrepancies in what schools are paying for college tuition for concurrent credit. It sets a cap for the high side and it sets a cap for the low side. We found in this discussion that some schools were paying zero, literally, for concurrent credit. Others were paying exorbitant amounts. The other thing that Access does, it addresses weighted credit for concurrent credit classes. This will impact our AP classes and put concurrent credit on a level playing field with AP, which has been hotly debated since the early 2000s. So what that means is Harrison High School is ahead of the curve. Kudos to the leadership and the foresight that positions our students to be ahead of the curve, and the counselors did a great job explaining that. But as we move into this transition, we are positioned really, really well for our students to have maximum advantage, and incredibly proud of that and for that. Policy. 3.8.1 is our sick leave reimbursement, and our old policy, or our current policy, said that we would reimburse beyond the maximum accumulation at $50 a day. We did two things. We studied how effective our reimbursement and our incentive plan was, and the data told us it was not effective. It was pretty complex, and those that could get rewarded were getting rewarded, and those are the same people. And we weren't seeing a change in behavior of employee attendance. So we raised from 50, we said we would take the current incentive plan, and we will use that money to pay people $100 a day for accumulated sick leave beyond 90. In 3.8.2, we proposed that when you retire, that you would be reimbursed $100 a day rather than $50 a day. For employees that have been here 10 or more consecutive years, they would get a full accumulated sick leave payout at $100 a day. For those that have been here 7 years, it would be a maximum of 60 days, and those that have been here 5 consecutive years, it would be a maximum of 30 days. Under the current policy, you had to be here 10 years in order to accumulate that benefit. What we proposed to PPC was, as we're trying to recruit and put ourselves in the best position to recruit the most attractive employees, those that come every day and don't miss a day, who probably have a large sick bank where they're at, and then they would transfer in a maximum amount possibly, that we would reward them for continued good behavior and coming to work. So those are the proposed changes. PPC was very supportive and voted to support it. So those are the changes for 3.8.1 and 3.8.2.
So administration recommends that license PPC along with education administration recommends accepting the proposed changes as outlined in board policy 3.81 and 3.82. The board may accept, reject, or send the policies back to license PPC for modification.
We have a motion to accept it.
So moved.
Have a motion by Mr. Martin, is there a second? Ms. McLaughlin?
Second.
We got a second. Any discussion? Is this primarily for recruiting, or are we just matching up state policy with ASDA?
Little both, it's a little computing, recruiting, computing, and matching up what other people are already doing.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, the same. Motion carries. We'll move on to 7C.
Yes, 7C is the classified version of the same policy, Dr. Lyons.
Ditto. Okay. You have a motion for ditto.
So moved.
Have a motion for ditto by Mr. Martin, a second by Ms. Buck. Any other discussion? Ditto as well, I assume? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same. Motion carries. We'll move on to 7D, to the summer feeding program.
Yes, we've had the honor to have the summer feeding program for several years while I've been here, and it's been an honor to help those families that are visiting our area and also in our area. However, this year we're going to make some changes. We're going to add to what we've been doing. So let me talk a little bit about the requirements. Requirements by the state are a submission of a Board of Education minutes approving the participation in the program are required. This year we're going to have the summer food service program will be held at Harrison Middle School for 2025, beginning on June 2nd and ending on June 2nd and ending on August 1st, Monday through Friday. The summer food program at the middle school will be closed on July 4th. Secondly, we'll have a smaller version of the summer food program will be held at Forest Heights and Skyline Heights Elementaries that coincides with summer 21st century and workshops going on there. The program will begin June 2nd, the same as the first program. However, it will end on June 26th and will only go Monday through Thursday. Jonathan Dove, our food service manager, is here tonight to answer any questions you may have. And Jonathan, anything you want to add?
I'm excited about it, Sandy. You know, it's a good opportunity for these kids to be able to access food, and so I'm excited about that.
Yep, and I'm
My
gonna
staff is happy about that too. We got a couple new people working this year, and they're excited about working there sometimes.
These programs come through the Department of Human Services and the Arkansas Department of Education. Our recommendation is, administration recommends approval of the summer food service program as presented.
Would anybody be willing to make a motion? Mr. Burnside, second, there's a motion, is there a second? I have a second. I have a second by Mr. Burris, any discussion?
With the governor's recommendations for free breakfast, I haven't heard about the lunch. Is it on the table also on the state level?
They talked about it, but I think they're going to see how much breakfast costs.
So breakfast is called for the committee?
Yep.
Okay.
No, it's,
Okay, so, will any of all these costs will be absorbed by federal funds?
it's a reimbursement system.
Yes, and we are free during the summertime, so everybody eats for free during the summertime, because we are area eligible with our free reduced numbers, and so it'll be no cost to anybody.
So, to add to that, just a reminder, I know you remember, but we have the SY in the summer, we have summer school in summer, we have, the technology, it's the, convention in the summer, and then we partner with Chuck Eddington and the Parks and Rec in the summer program, and we bust them over to be also in this program, get our numbers pretty high. So we have good turnout.
On my soapbox, as I've said for years, I don't understand why we pay for everything but not the most important thing, which is food. Doesn't make sense to me, but doesn't have to. Any other discussion? I'm glad you have the same passion as our council. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same. Motion carries. We'll move on to 7E, consider the school board election resolution.
Yes, recently, Arkansas Statute 6-14-111 states that the school board of directors by resolution may request the county board of election commissioners to allow a candidate to cast a ballot for him or herself at a designated time and location on election day or during that period which would be otherwise designated early voting. Harrison Board of Directors had only one candidate submit for position 2 and one candidate for position 5, qualifying the Board of Directors of the Harrison School District to submit to the County Board of Commissioners the attached resolution declaring that an election by each candidate is held. What that means is that incumbent Mr. Burris and our new candidate would go down and vote for themselves on the election day, and when the election is completed, there will be no election cost for the district or for the county. So by doing that, we have to have a resolution from this board. Administration recommends the approval. Administration recommends the Harrison Board of Directors submit to the County Board of Election Commissioners the attached resolution declaring an election by candidate by ballot.
So we have a motion by anybody but Mr. Burris. So moved. Have a motion by Mr. Martin, is there a second?
Second.
And a second by Ms. McLaughlin. Is there any discussion? Can you let us know how much this saves the district?
It's somewhere between $12,000 and $22,000.
I'll ask that you vote for this. With that said, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, the same. Motion carries. Now we can get a reserve.
We agree that goes to Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to 7F, consider resolution for contract disclosure form on return employees.
Yes, in state statute, it indicates that if you have an employee, it's no employee contract is, an employee contract is prohibited of a spouse of a board member unless it's approved by the Commissioner of Education. We have been working through this process for several years. Ms. Alford has made many phone calls trying to clarify this, situation. We think we're on the right track, but what we're asking for the board tonight is to approve a resolution on the documents that we must submit so that we can hire and to offer a contract to the employee, spouse of a board member. So our recommendation, administration recommends documentation, a letter be sent to, and a written resolution be sent to the Commissioner of Education, fully disclosing the relationship between the board member and the school district employee for approval to rehire until the employee resigns or retires or the board member resigns from the board of directors.
So, what everybody willing to go ahead and make a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Martin, is there a second? I have a second by Ms. Bowe, any discussion?
We just hope this gets resolved this year.
Okay, so any comment, if you can add to this? The nature of the context of this discussion is somehow we are receiving some special benefit by having his spouse serve on the school.
Yeah,
Which is not even close to being that.
that's good.
We use the same process that we would have hired anybody. And we have had other school employees that had individuals on the board that also work for the district.
Good.
So this is essentially not an accounting or a clerical error, but it's just a situation, right?
Yes, we hope to resolve the situation and there'll be an indefinite contract. We hope if you approve the resolution.
And so the point of me going on about this at this point is to make sure we don't do anything. I trust these individuals with the information. I can tell you they're above reproach, and this is nothing more than what it is. Documentation. Okay. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, same. Motion carries. We'll move on to consider petitions for transfer of students.
Yes, well, before you know, the petitions for transfer of students are presented in consideration. Administration recommends approval of outgoing transfers and endorsed incoming transfers.
Second. We have a motion by Mr. Martin, a second by Ms. Bowe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same. Motion carries.
At this time, we're going to be in the administration.
My understanding is okay. This time we're going to go into recess from our regular session and go in for